Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. Today, it's something a little bit special and very special to me because when I started out on my career in food many years ago, I had an aim of writing 10 cookbooks, and today I want to share a recipe from my 10th cookbook. This, my friends, is Everyday Cook, and it is filled with family favorites. It's a cookbook that is filled with recipes that are doable, recipes that you're going to want to come back to time and time again. And in particular, the recipe I want to share with you is an absolute favorite in our house. It is a white and dark chocolate raspberry ripple brownie. It is ridiculously good. It's fudgy, and you get this lovely swirl of white and dark with fruity hits of raspberries poking in and out of the brownies. It's an absolute favorite in our house, which is why it has made it into the book, which is just filled with plenty of our family favorites. So if you want to check out more details, I'll leave a link in the box below and you can order it there. Right, let's get cooking. So to kick these brownies off, we need to melt our chocolate. Good quality white chocolate and good quality dark chocolate. So I'm just going to break these into little pieces into a little bain-marie, a little pot of water with a bowl sitting over the top of it. And this is probably one of the easiest ways you can melt your chocolate. You can do it in the microwave in 30-second short blasts, but I never really trust it, so I like the process of doing it like this. It's old school, but it works a treat. And particularly with chocolate, which has a tendency to seize with high heat, I always like to do it like this, just to be sure that I get really nice, smooth, melted chocolate. So, white chocolate in, and the idea here is that we're going to be left with two mixtures. We're going to make our core brownie mixture, and then we're going to ripple it with our dark chocolate and then with white chocolate. So while this melts down, we can crack on with the brownie mixture. And I love this brownie mixture because it's a really fudgy one, and it starts off with some softened butter and some sugar. And I'm just going to beat this up until we have a nice, smooth and fluffy mixture. You can do this in a stand mixer, or very handy, and if you don't have the money for a stand mixer, one of these will do the job. So straight in there until it's nice, soft and fluffy. Okay, this looks exactly where it needs to be, and you can see how much more light and fluffy it is. And with this batter, normally what I like to do is add one egg at a time, but a little trick, because I make these quite a lot, is to crack all your eggs into one jug, and then it means that if you're doing this one-handed, you can pour with one, well, that's two hands, but you can pour with one hand and mix with the other, so you don't have to worry about stopping, cracking, you can just pour straight from the jug and it works a treat. So 3 eggs go in here. Large free-range eggs. And the only reason I do add eggs like that is so that I don't curdle my mixture and you end up with a really smooth and light batter. So with one hand mixing and one hand pouring, we're going to add our eggs in slowly until each one is incorporated. Okay, this is looking good. Time for the next one. After all that, I've added them all in at the same time. It'll work a treat, we just have to beat the bejesus out of it. Now, to get really fudgy brownies, the trick is to not only add regular sugar, but also to add some brown sugar in here, which is going to give us that really rich sweetness in here. So the combination of the two sugars going in with the butter and mix. So once the eggs are completely added, we're going to add in our flour and a little bit of vanilla bean paste. If you haven't come across this stuff, it's so worthwhile. I think you can get it in baking shops and now possibly in the supermarkets as well. Vanilla bean paste has that little bean in it, so when you add this to your baked good, you're going to get that little fleck, which is lovely. So about a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste going in here. I always struggle to say vanilla bean paste. Vanilla bean paste. Anyway, that's my own problem. Oh, and a little pinch of salt will be nice in here as well, just to balance out the sweetness. And then essentially what you are left with is your basic brownie batter without the chocolate. So let's get mixing, and then let's get mixing again. Now, as soon as that's incorporated, I'm going to get the mixers out and get rid of this because I don't want to overbeat the mixture. I only want to just incorporate that flour, which we have done at this point. And now it's time for our double chocolate action. So I have the white chocolate and I have the dark chocolate. So basically, half our batter is going to go into the white chocolate, half our batter is going to go into the dark chocolate. So just eyeball it. You do not have to be specific here. You want roughly half the batter going into the white chocolate. The idea here is that you get left with these great little ripples of both dark and white, and it looks so good. And then it's just a case of folding them both through. I think my favorite moment baking in the kitchen is making brownies. There's something lovely about folding dark chocolate into a brownie mixture, just knowing you're going to be left with fudgy, gorgeous brownies in a matter of like 35 minutes or so. We are basically making a blondie meets a brownie recipe, and bringing them together for a little bit of love in the middle is some raspberries. This would easily be my wife Sophie's absolute favourite dessert. So this is why it made it into the book, because it's an absolute favourite in our house. So we have dark chocolate, we have white chocolate. Now we need to bring them together in a baking tin. So I have a baking tin lined with some parchment paper, and all it is pouring little dollops of the white chocolate and pouring little dollops of the dark chocolate and then joining them together with a spatula. This is probably the most relaxing part of making this recipe. It's swirling those until you have this really beautiful brownie mixture that looks gorgeous. So at this point, when you've marbled your white and dark chocolate brownie mixtures, you're going to add raspberries in and just place them in. So you almost get like one raspberry or so per bite. And just nuzzle them in to your brownie. This is now ready to go into the oven. It's going to cook off for about 35 minutes or 40 minutes, but really what you're looking for, and I would suggest you more visually take your cue, is a set side but a slight wobble to the center. That means you're going to get lovely fudgy brownies when these come out cool and set. So this now goes into the oven at about 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to cook for about 35 to 40. Okay, have a look at this. Brownies have come out of the oven, they've cooked, they've cooled, they've risen. My raspberries have sunk a little bit, but now we should be left with beautiful fudgy brownies that are ready to be sliced. So I'm going to slice them into 4 by 4, so I should be left with 16 little squares here. So best way to do that is to start in the middle. So slice right the way down the middle, and really have patience with this. It's worth waiting till they cool. It's really hard to cut hot brownies because they are just fudgy and gooey, and it's easier to wait until they're cool. Look at that. So pretty, so gorgeous. And if you wanted to make it even more of a decadent dessert, some whipped cream on the side is absolutely glorious. But to be perfectly honest, eaten straight from the pan while they're still a little bit warm, absolute magic. And it really benefits from that contrast of the white, the dark chocolate, and then that kind of tart sweet burst of the raspberries in there. So good. If you are looking for the full recipe for these, you'll find it in Everyday Cook. Thank you guys so much for supporting. We are now at 1 million subscribers on the channel. If you want to help us celebrate, you can order the cookbook. It's in the link in the description box below. And as always, we will leave the recipe down there as well. Hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, ring the notification bell for notifications, and as always, leave me a comment in the box below letting me know if you're going to try these gorgeous brownies from my new book, Everyday Cook. Check it out. Hope you enjoy, and may more brownies be in your life soon. Goodbye.